Elliot here, episode 4, I Am Music, back again with Billy. Billy, tell us who we have today.
What up, guys? Hi, guys.
Hi.
This is pretty funny because we have Candice Nelson and J.Que Smith, amazing songwriters. A lot of hit records here. But these guys, how long has it been since you guys have seen each other?
Like over a year?
I want to say maybe 2
years?
because it's been a year, of course, because of the pandemic.
Yeah, the pandemic, yeah.
But before then, it's been about another year because you were spending so much time in Atlanta.
Yeah.
I would say probably about 2 years.
Wow. We didn't even really FaceTime that much.
I'm telling you, I was like, Billy was like, can you make it? I was like, I definitely am trying to make it. I got like 2 sessions and a meeting, and he was like, yeah, Candice is going to be there. Fuck. Yeah, bro. I'm there. I'm there. Let's figure it out.
I Am Music is bringing people together. So, bringing people together.
Sure.
I love it.
How you guys been?
Me?
how's
I'm good. I'm great now. I'm great now. To be out and everything, like the pandemic has been such a drag. Like, oh my God, it's horrible. But I'm happy to be out, seeing familiar faces, and just, chopping it up about something that I love and that brings me so much, like, I don't know, peace and joy and all that.
Bro, I'm going to be real. The pandemic went exactly the other way for me. This shit was, can I curse?
Yes.
I curse a lot. I do apologize. I curse a lot. This shit has been amazing for me. Minus financially. I probably, who knew we were going to be in this thing for a year?
Of course.
So probably shot money out too much in the beginning, 3-4 months, no problem.
Panic buying.
Right, and then I was like, oh shit, okay, gotta figure this out.
Yeah, same.
But besides financially, bro, the pandemic, not even the pandemic wasn't great. Pandemic was terrible. Quarantine.
Yeah,
the pause.
Yes.
All coronation. My coronation was nice, bro, because you know me and you know me. Bro, like, I never got to see my kids. Like, I'd wake up, walk them to school, come back home, work out, hang out with Viv, eat. By the time, it's close for them time to get out of school, I'm going to work. I don't see them until the next morning. But then, quarantine happens and, we're just looking at each other all day long. And there's a moment where it was like, hi, I'm dad. So,
how old are your kids?
My oldest is now 13.
Wow.
I own a teenager, which is
boy or girl?
Boy.
Okay.
And then his name is Channing, and then my daughter Riley, or I call her Bear.
Okay.
Bear is 10.
How was that dealing with? My kids are way younger, so they didn't want to be out. They don't know any different.
Right.
So was that a struggle being in the house with that?
It would have been a struggle for me. My kids were so ready to trade in their friends for like iPads and like Xboxes and PlayStations. They didn't care. And then, when it got really heavy, FaceTime. Yeah. And then maybe once or twice. They saw a couple other people, and then when things started to calm down a little bit, the studio that I do most of my work at is this.
It looks nice. I keep seeing it.
Yeah,
I'm like,
bro, just come by. If you're not doing anything later today, I'm gonna go there after.
Okay.
It looks
Pontiac Keys.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, so it's a really nice house.
Yeah.
So it just got to the point where when the house was fuller on the weekdays, and it's run to Japanese standards. Okay. So I did feel a little more comfortable. Everybody had to be tested all the time.
For sure.
But they ended up giving me keys to the place. So I would just be like, yo, who's working this week? And they tell me the schedule. I'd be like, who's there Saturday and Sunday? It'd be like, nobody. All right, well, I'm gonna come in and work like Monday to Wednesday. I'm not coming in Thursday, Friday. I'm going to come in Saturday and Sunday. But I bring my kids. Yeah. And they get there, and there are all the snacks they want, all the drinks they want, plus they can jump in the pool. They've fallen in love with the hot tub. That's their shit.
Oh, man.
So, that just became the thing. They come there, sit around on their iPads.
Of course,
because the
wow.
internet is so much faster there. And then I'd work for a couple of hours, step out, maybe order pizza, chill with them for an hour, hour and a half, let them jump in the pool, do their thing.
Yeah.
They get out, I go back in and finish the song. So, they started figuring it out. And then when things really started opening back up, B. Cox brought his son out, and like all the kids would hang out,
that's
at the house together. So it was cool. It was cool.
Do they want to do music?
My son said the coldest shit to me ever, bro. And this is before the pandemic. He was like, "Dad," and I was like, "Yeah, what's going on, buddy? Can we talk?" Sure. And then he said some shit nobody wants to hear. I don't mean any disrespect. That means whatever you're about to say is super disrespectful.
Yeah.
And he just goes, "I don't want to be you." I go, "What?" Because I just don't want to be you, Dad. I know you do music, and I know, but that's not what I want. And I was like, "Bro, I don't want you to be me. Like, be a poet, be a botanist, be a doctor.
Right.
Be a programmer. Go coding. You like coding.
Yeah.
Like, do that shit, bro. I just want you to be happy."
Of course.
My daughter, she's got the bug.
That's it.
She's got the bug, and she asks smart, like she asks intelligent questions.
Yeah.
It's not, "Hey, how much money? Hey, do you get to meet a lot of famous people?" Like, she'll come in the room, now she'll see me. I'll be at home working in the studio, and she'll walk in and see me, walk back out of the room, come back with her iPad and some headphones, sets up her GarageBand and just sits next to me.
Wow, that's awesome.
Really cool. And I've she'll tell me about what she wants to do. I've produced a couple of tracks for her, given her to her, and she's writing, and we've recorded one, and and she's got all the questions. Like, "Dad, do you do vocal warm-ups, or how do you become a better singer?" Well, here are some scales that I started with when I was younger, figure that out. And she'll just be in her room working on that. And then I showed her one or two breathing techniques that my mom taught me when I was young. And, this is one that's real cool. You take like a little piece of paper, hold it up against the wall, take a deep inhale in, and just hold
See how long you
can hold the paper against the wall. And she's doing that all the time. And it's, well, which should I really work on first, the melody or the words? And how do you figure out what you want to talk about? Because you said I could write about whatever, but there are so many things, and so it's been interesting.
I love that because it's like she's so inquisitive, so young.
Yes,
but it's like that's the same thing that a lot of these artists that come to camp,
Yes, exactly.
It's like they're asking the same questions, and
exactly.
They're all different ages, but that's information that they would want to know.
Yeah,
it's like it's what's your process, and how did you figure out your process in this journey. It's like it's crazy.
Bro, it would be wild. Next time that we're there, I would love to bring her.
Yeah.
You know what? She really should come, because we do have some kids that start, like we've even had a couple 9-year-olds. Obviously it's again for sure.
Wow.
1,000%. So she's 10 now?
Yes.
Next year she'll be 11 years old.
Yeah.
So it's July next year.
Oh yeah.
Have her come up, man. I bet you've been up there, but it really is like, if she's already kind of digging into this, to be able to jump around and see other people that are like doing into this, and you feel like, these are my people,
this is my tribe.
This is it. And that's the whole point of this. I feel like it's so beneficial to, not everyone is from LA in New York where it's cool to do music.
Right.
Some of these people come from where this isn't cool, but they meet and they go, this is unbelievable.
Yeah.
Like, I'm here and you guys love this too and are trying to do the same thing I'm doing. So that'd be really cool.
You gotta come in July next year.
Oh, I'd love to.
Yeah, it's like I said, it's the longest running music camp in LA, but the energy is just really it's something special. It's these kids that come from all over the world, but they meet other kids that have the same interests and like-minded, and it's like they just kind of geek out.
So we literally room them together. So it's up on we rent out Mount St. Mary's College, which is up. It's totally separated from everything else. So it's a 15-minute ride up the hill. So you're in this bubble for 10 days. So you're rooming with people you've never met before. You're eating, you're sleeping, everything is super intense during that time. Awesome. But a lot of change happens and these people get so close because you feel like you went through an experience with them together, right? And we've had people that have moved, left their country, come here to live together after that. Like there's been huge friendships and relationships that have been built from this. Like, and it's a pretty amazing thing that we can change the curriculum every year, but the experience is still the same experience. You know, there's something about that.
Yeah. I still keep up with one or two of the people that I've met. Like, they just reach out from time to time. Hey, is it cool if I send you? Yeah, sure.
And that's what's so cool about it, man, is they feel so amazing to be able to, and also what a privilege it is to be able to speak to someone like you guys yourselves who have accomplished so much. Right. You've kind of bypassing a lot of different steps to be able to have access. So I always tell them, like, take advantage of it. Go ask everything you can. Because you wouldn't be there if you didn't truly want to be there and weren't willing to at least be like, yeah, all right, I'll tell you my opinion.
Exactly.
So ask everything. Take advantage of this because this is a rare situation in a rare environment.
You gotta go, Ken.
Right, I'd
love
to. Yeah. I mean, for me and like selfishly, bro, it's recharging.
Like I would imagine so.
Because, you know, after a while, you know, running around sitting in studios, everybody's kind of on tilt. Yeah. We've all have our battle scars and things that we've run into. And you get there and everybody still, like, they're still excited. They're excited about music
they're
because
so
it's music.
Hungry. And everything's so exciting. Yes,
it's pure still.
And they're terrified as well, which is also pretty amazing to watch these people push past that. They've never been out of their comfort zone. And seeing them get up on stage, because at the end of every night we have a full show with a band and everything. So some of these people have never performed.
What?
So we take their original stuff, the house band charts it, everything, lights, sound, everything, full auditorium, and to be able to step up on stage and have that experience as well in classes during the day, it's unbelievable to see the growth. And some of these people have been coming for several years. They're different. I mean, they're growing as a human, but also just to see the artistry, you go, this is I remember this person from 3 years ago. They're killing it.
Oh, that's dope.
Yeah.
Because my niece is a producer, and she, just seeing her approach to it and kind of getting to watch her process a little bit inspired me. I was like surprised, but I was super inspired to see her dedication to it. Because, you know, early in her life, I guess, she mentioned that she was doing music and like, I'm like, oh, okay, you know, but you don't really know until you see how dedicated she is. And she really is. She takes her own money from jobs and stuff, and she buys her equipment, her interfaces, her mics, her guitars. Like, she's a little musician producer, and to see her do that, like, just reignited my desire to be creative myself musically. And so that's very, very recent too, because for the longest I was just like, I could do some music or I could not. So seeing her do that was, you know, it really made me want to do it. Just seeing that hunger and that fire.
Remember how much you loved doing exactly that too. Totally.
How did you? What was your introduction to music? I don't like. I've heard J.Q's crazy hilarious story.
I feel like I
and
missed
you can explain it again if you want, but it's great. But like, I don't know. Like, when did you really like figure out your music thing?
You know what? In high school, I think I always like knew that I could like hold a tune or carry a tune or hold a note or whatever. But
let me step in right quick. She's wildly underselling that.
She's
wildly underselling that. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Okay. I feel like I should respond or explain, but
I'm gonna let you finish. But Candice got one of the best vocals of all time.
But you know what that is? It's just like doing this, like all the work we've done together over the years taught me these artists. I used to feel like they're they're cool. They're okay, like certain vocalists, but to understand how dedicated they had to be,
right?
To, you know, they have to carry so much of it. Like long after everyone's written and they've done the beats and all that stuff, and the records have been shot, whatever. Long after all that, they're still out carrying that on their back, performing it, trying to keep the records alive.
Right.
So they carry a lot of that weight and the energy, the stamina. Yeah. You know, I respect that so much now.
Well, but that's an awesome way to look at that.
Yeah.
Too, and understanding that.
That's real work. I was like, oh, wait a minute. So this part is just one little piece of what they're doing. Yeah. And it made me respect their journey that much more. Right. Yeah. So that's why I'm like, I sing a little bit, but I ain't know, you know.
Ain't no little bit.
She sings a lot of it.
I mean, you know, long live the clutch.
Well, yeah, for sure.
Also, I feel like people that say that are genuinely usually amazing. So as soon as she said that, before you even interjected, you go, she's probably incredible.
There's so many records that, I mean, because, you know, I met you guys, did I meet you guys at the same time?
Yeah.
Or did I meet you first?
Well, you probably met me first, but when we started kicking it, you know what I mean? When we really became cool, it was all of us at the same time.
Yeah. And that was many moons ago, but like the records that you guys were doing then were just like insane. I mean, I just remember being, you know, coming to Atlanta and being in the studio with you guys, and it was just so exciting. And like anytime that you did a vocal, it was just like Candice's fucking voice.
Oh, dude,
your voice is
so
man.
Bro, I still run into that now in the studio.
Yeah,
people be like, "Yo, do you ever keep up with any of the guys?" Yeah, I talk to everybody. Man, you got any of those demos with Candice?
I send both of you guys that demo that I found out.
Yes,
the Green Light record.
Yes,
Green Light. You did.
Was that you? That's you on there, right?
Yes.
I know if it was you.
No, that was Carrie.
Was that Carrie
on the backs too?
On the back.
Yeah,
I knew I heard.
Yeah, you definitely.
But I have a bunch of Clutch records, but I remember that one.
I don't have any Clutch records.
I remember that one because it comes on in my car when I'm driving. It'll come on my random iTunes.
Yeah.
Stuff. That's just like dun 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 dun. I was like, dun. But it's such a great record, and like, you know, I think I sent it to you. I sent it to you. I was like, because to me it's a great record. I'm like, that shit needs to be out.
I still like it, and I don't really go back and listen to old stuff that we did. And very often at all.
I didn't have them until last year.
I still don't have them. I'll
send you the ones that I have.
Oh, but
I have so many records in my computer that have been sent to me for artists that I'm working on, that some of them have, you know, got placed on huge artists that came out, and I'm like, I have the demo of that. I have the original demo of that. You know? The
funny thing with a lot of the stuff that you do, or that we did, that you sang, is, you know, once people are familiar with your voice, you can go back and listen to the songs that we did, whether they were with Fantasia or Britney or Jennifer Lopez or whoever, and you can hear Candice singing it.
Right.
So, what's funny though is while we're giving props, J.Que, like, there's so much stuff I didn't even understand. Well, there are so many ways I didn't know how to use my voice or to like tweak my approach to get a certain result until I started working with J.Que. And J.Que would push me to do that stuff, to do a lot of that stuff vocally. And I would be like, okay, this motherfucker's crazy, but okay, let's go. And it would come out dope every time.
This whole thing is, you spend a lot of time in the studio, and there are a lot of talented people, like, regardless of what anybody thinks, with, like, they're not talented, bro.
No.
There are so many talented people.
Oh, yeah.
And the crazy shit is, half of the talented people, the people that people think have no talent, sometimes are the craziest ones, like, making it look effortless.
Yeah.
It's really difficult.
Of course.
Like, it's really difficult. So, you know, in a lot of cases, you get in the studio and you pray that you're going to end up with someone talented. But it's not very often that even this long in the game that I've been in the studio with anyone that can do what Candice does.
Yeah.
Like, there aren't, I don't don't know if there was ever a point where we were in where I was like, yo, can you do this? And you may go, I don't know. And then we try it. And you're like, oh, okay, yeah, I figured it out. And then you do it. Like, I can literally count on one hand the amount of people that have been able to do that. So, yes, I pushed because I knew we could get it. I absolutely pushed.
But also, a question for you guys, is that something that you hope to find in everyone in terms of the willingness, I guess, to do it? Not necessarily if you can execute it, right?
Yes.
That goes without. But not going, no, I can't.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure that would get frustrating at some point.
Yes, I do, and I did then, but I do a lot of vocal production.
Yeah.
As well as other things that we do. And that's just kind of always my spiel. Like in the very beginning of a session, Billy has definitely been there. Candice has definitely been there. But this conversation that I have is like, look, the reality is the only person that wants you to sound better than you want to sound is me.
Totally. Yeah, right.
Because after this is done, if you don't sound great, no one's going to say you didn't pull it off. They're going to say, I couldn't get the vocal from you. So what I need you to understand is nothing that is said in here and done in here is personal. Like none of it is personal. But I need you to understand that if what we're doing, is in this performance, I don't care how well you sing. I could give a fuck about how well you sing. You're in here, so I know you're talented. We all know you're talented. Your job is to deliver it, not to sing it.
Yeah.
Like a song is like a 3-minute audible movie. Your job is to be the best actor or actress that you can be in this moment. I need to believe you. Yeah. That's all I care about. So if we're singing and I need you to be aggressive, I need you to be frustrated, and you're not giving me that, I need you to understand I am going to frustrate you. It is my job, and I will get this vocal by nearly whatever means necessary. You know what I mean? And we've worked, I remember the first time we worked with Brandy. The second the song was done, I got a call from her A&R the next day. Brandy said she never wants to meet you again. She never wants to see you again. And then 3 days later, I got a call from Brandy. It was like, yo, I was so angry, but I played the song for my mom. And she said, that's how you sing.
Wow. Sonia.
And
Sonia
then, that's big. And that's how she and I ended up getting tight. So the whole thing is, bro, it's just about trying. And I have a fair amount of patience. And when I'm in the studio, definitely have a lot of patience because that's really what this is for. We're here for you to get it right once. Like once. Maybe we have to sing it 54 times. But you can be wrong 53. You can be wrong 5,300 times. I don't care. As long as you are willing to work, I'm willing to work. Right. So that's just that's the process. I wish more people understood that 2-minute song you're listening to sometimes took 6 hours to record.
Or sometimes it takes 2 days. Those are rough, but it happens. Those happen. I'm not getting the vocal. Let's try again tomorrow.
Yeah,
we've been in here for 8 hours on the one line. Let's just
come back tomorrow.
Let's try tomorrow.
Yes,
those are rough, but
But man,
I've had a couple of those.
Yes, I know. But you work and you get there, and then it's one of the things that's amazing. The second it's over, the artist that didn't believe is so fucking happy. It's so happy.
Yeah.
They to know that they could do it. That shit's just amazing.
So I feel like it's probably, you go, I know you're probably gonna be frustrated in this moment, but the end result is going to make you happy, and the reward already because you've been there and you've had to bring someone through it. So it's probably easier for you to go.
It's just
all right.
I need you to trust me. I'm going to ask you to do some things that may make you uncomfortable. That sounds wild. That may be outside of what you normally do when you sing. Yeah. That you're not used to singing that way. You're not comfortable. You haven't done it. And for me. And again, they both know if it starts feeling that way, I'm really good to kick everyone out of the studio.
Totally.
Yeah.
All of my people, all of your people, management, A&R, everybody's got to go. The engineer, everybody's got to go.
Yeah.
You know, and we're going to get into this, and we're gonna figure it out. Like, that's half of the job. Mm-hmm. You know, it's just understanding and building that bond.
Yeah.
And, you know, and I need the artist to be comfortable enough to talk real to me.
Yeah.
And, you know, and I need to be able to do the same thing, and nobody needs to take it personally.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's the job.
Yeah.
Totally.
I'm not going to push someone who can't take being pushed. Oh, but if you can take it,
hey,
bruh.
Here we go. Yeah, we're going.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was the thing with Brandy. I think that was the one. Yeah, I don't feel that way. I don't feel that way. Let's do it again. You know what I mean?
She was like, "Fuck you,
yeah, she was.
As soon as she left, called like you said. Her AR was like, "Nope, never."
Which is, but for me specifically in that time, and this was our record.
Mm-hmm.
Look, I don't know when I'm ever going to be sitting in the room with Brandy again. Mm-hmm. So we're getting the vocal that I feel like we need to get. Yeah. They brought me in here to get
like you said, it's the job.
Yes.
It's your job.
Yes.
So it doesn't matter that the singer necessarily didn't even hire you, right? You're there to do a job.
Let's all be professional.
Yes.
Yeah.
And in being professional, sometimes that means, bro, everybody, I don't care what anybody says, everyone doesn't like a winner. Like, everyone doesn't like a winner. You like winners, and specifically the greats are slightly obsessive. They're not the coolest people, bro, but they're amazing at what they do. Yeah. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And definitely not saying that I am great, but I like to study the greats.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And we have been blessed enough to sit around, you know, people who are great at what they do, you know. And, bro, I take note, and Babyface wouldn't take, like, if it needs to be a 10, he's not taking a 9.7.
Yeah.
I don't care what you tell him.
Yeah.
You're going to do it until it's right.
He's one person that I always bring up when I'm talking to artists, as far as, like, you know, because a lot of times for me, I deal with so many artists that are big on, you know, I'm sure all of us, you know, but I want to write my own music, and I want to do this, and I want to do that, and that's great. I obviously encourage that. I want the best for you as an artist. I want the best song for you as an artist. But at the same time, like, not everyone is an amazing writer, and not everyone, you know. So, you know, it's like being in the studio with you guys, with Babyface and Tony and everybody. It's like, you know, hearing him talk about how everything has to be a copyright, and it has to be songs that live on forever, and, you know, are going to generate money forever. Mm-hmm. That's so important, because a lot of these songs aren't. And if you have certain, you know, lyrics in it that make it very now, or you know, certain time period, it's like that stuff doesn't. There's a process to it, and he obviously has it down. Yes. And he's the master.
Super down.
Yeah, but it's like that genius. I remember just sitting in the studio going, I am not, you know, worthy of sitting here listening to him talk about this. This is like I mean, but that's his you know, bro. His genius. It's amazing.
He understands it on a level that most people don't.
Oh yeah.
It's something. I believe a lot of the same stuff he believes. You know, when it comes to what we do, and when we started writing together, I was so happy because I learned so much. And a lot of people don't know this. It's at a point in time where, you know, before I wrote with Kenny, I was very insecure with what I did. Mm-hmm. And I mean, this is after doing Yeah for Usher, after Truth Is for Fantasia, after Icebox for Omarion, after Like a Boy, after all of these records.
Yeah, you're still insecure after all that?
I was way more insecure after the Clutch
for sure,
than I was before the Clutch.
Wow.
Same.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. Because it's like, it takes growth to understand that your gift is your gift.
Yes.
Like, what you do is what you do, and your process is your process. Mm-hmm. And when I tell you, one of the most amazing things about the Clutch was our process. Mm-hmm. And it was easy. I don't think there was ever a project, and tell me if I'm wrong, Ken. I don't think there was ever a project that we were like, we're going to get on that we literally didn't end up with maybe a couple of records on.
Yeah.
Every project, every album we ever said we want to be on, we were on.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And everybody's gifts were so amazing. Like Candice is, bruh, melodically, Candice's choices are wild to me. Yeah. And they're so good. And Balewa is he was the fastest person I'd ever written with on that level. Like there are the fastest people I've ever been in the studio around. Yeah. First was Jonte Austin. He's ridiculous.
Jonte.
Second person was Neo. Yeah. Neo still doesn't make any sense to me. Yeah. Like how he does what he does. Balewa Muhammad. Yeah. The Dream. Yeah. Be clear, nobody's ever going to write faster than The Dream. Yeah. I don't think it's physically possible. Wow. I saw him write a complete song in 3 minutes. I don't think it's faster. I don't think it's possible to be faster than him. Wow. And have complete thoughts. Yeah. And recently, kid that's fucking incredible, Derek Milano. Yeah. Derek Milano is amazing. And for me, like, being able to move that fast was never my strength. Right. Yeah. Like, melody was never my strength. Yeah. I'm very ABC with my melody, and I like what I like. But, like, they were super, like, you guys would do things that I'd never heard, that I wouldn't put together that way. Conceptually, I didn't understand. I didn't understand how Candice was able to figure this out so fast, where I'm over here like struggling. Yeah. You know what I mean? And their speed was terrifying to me. Yeah. You know what I mean? I figured out inside of our unit where I sat, where I could add value.
I didn't really have speed.
You absolutely had speed. We had this conversation 3 days ago.
Did I disagree?
Yes.
Okay. I just want to make sure I'm being consistent.
So it was. Balewa just did a song with Tricky for Kiki that she actually just cut. Mm-hmm.
Oh, nice.
But Balewa, I mean, so many good times back then. Yeah. I mean, I wasn't obviously around, but just for the stuff that my artists were dealing with you guys. But I mean, being around you guys was a lot of fun. I mean,
God, likewise.
I mean, there's so many funny videos.
Specifically in the beginning. Yeah. Oh, it was all fun. I wanted to go to the studio at all times.
But you agreed with him when he brought up the insecurity thing. What was that for you then?
They had all had the experience of creating alone. Like, you'd written and recorded and all that alone. Balewa had done it. Carrie had done it. Right. Zeke had done it. Right. Everyone but me. Like, because prior to that, I'd worked really closely with Walt Millsap. And then we, like, decided to part ways and pursue other things. Right. And then it was like, okay, but I have this pub deal, so what's going to happen now? So to see it honest. Yeah. So I hit E, and I was like, okay, so I guess it's all over. Do you guys want to unsign me now? Because I don't know. But she was like, well, you know what? We're going to move you around and this and that. And then, you know, and then the retreat was born for the Clutch. But going into that, I was so shook. I was so shook. Didn't I wear my hood the whole time? Like the first day, I was just like sitting in the couch, like
sitting in the back.
Yeah, it was like, oh my God, everyone here is great.
It was just more so because you guys were creating together for so long, and then to have to do it individually, it was like, oh shit.
The process was really different.
Yeah.
Yeah, very, very. I felt unworthy of the company. I felt unworthy of collaboration with these minds that had done so much and they were so self-sufficient, and to come together and make this great thing, I felt like I didn't go through the same boot camp. Right. I felt like I should have.
Right.
But yeah, that I would say that was the foundation of my insecurity. But
it was a lot. And inside the Clutch, we, as in most families, you know, we had our own issues, bro. Like, we were trying to figure things out. And, you know, in the beginning, you know, before you start making money, it's very different.
Right.
Like, everybody's got one goal.
Of course.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then after the success starts happening, you know, sometimes there are chinks in the armor, and it's not necessarily that anybody is super toxic. But when you start winning, there are all these outside factors that start coming in. Hey, man.
Of course.
Really? Fuck all you, this is going great, bro. I freaking love this. You should be the guy, though.
Yeah.
What are you doing, bro? You got this Prince shirt on. You are the Prince of vocalized shoe. You're the king, bro. And just all those things start tearing down, like, things that were happening.
Yeah.
You know, and in those moments, sometimes, you know, and people start feeling themselves.
Of course.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Which is natural, but us not discussing it. Like our communication broke down.
Right.
And inside of that, some of our insecurities, I'll speak for myself, you know, started showing up. And it was super wild. It was super wild for me. There were moments where I felt I was being treated unfairly. Then there were moments where I was like, maybe this isn't where I should be. Then there were moments that, even though, like one in particular, I'd literally, this isn't figurative, this isn't me adding anything extra on it.
Right.
I literally co-wrote the biggest song ever on the planet of Earth. And was still doubting myself, had imposter syndrome. Like, am I really, is it really, am I? And that shit, like, it tore me up for a really long time. Tore me up for a really long time. And that's why when I started writing with Kenny, with Babyface, it was, shit was super whack in the beginning because Kenny was my first real session after the Clutch broke up. Like, I took maybe about 9 months off where I didn't do anything but work out and play paintball and hang out with my new son. You know, and then I went in, Tony Dixon called me to come in and write with him and Kenny for Beyonce. He was like, we wrote, she didn't really like what we were doing. Like, she liked what we were doing, but she felt like some of our melodies and lyric choices were dated. He was like, I told Kenny about you. I told him you do what he does just for today. So I ran in. First song we wrote ended up actually coming out on Ariana Grande. It's a song called Baby I. And that was maybe the worst writing session of my life.
Really?
Oh, absolutely. Like, I was so unsure. Like, I had so much ring rust. Like, so I was so unsure about shit. And we'd get in there, and when Tony was in the room, Tony was like my security blanket.
Of course.
So when Tony was in the room, I felt awesome. And we can do this. How about this? I'm great. How about this? I love this. And then, knowing Kenny now, Kenny would kind of look at Tony, and Tony would leave because he wanted to see what I did.
Right.
And when Tony would leave, I'd shut down.
You just...
Mode would change,
Yeah, because Babyface was it to me.
Right.
He was like everything to me. Like, to me, he is the best writer of all time. So to be sitting in a room with him, it was like Prince, bro. I looked him in the eyes and I was just shook. I didn't know what the fuck I was supposed to do. And then he'd be like, well, what do you think we should do here? And I was like, well, let's try. I was thinking maybe we could go here. And there was one time where he was like, I was actually thinking the other way. We do this. And I was so shook, bro, that I literally said, you're right. Come on, Q. Stupid. Get it together.
Of course,
And I knew at that point, shit was all downhill.
Wow.
You know what I mean? And then he left, and then Tony played me the track for Best Thing I Never Had for Beyonce. Wrote that, played it for Kenny. That shit ended up going well. But I remember a little bit later, after Kenny and I are writing together a little bit more, we're in the room with a couple of, the regulars that are at the studio. And we're working through a song. And, my process is my process. I'm not always the fastest person. It doesn't always jump on me like that. But my favorite part about songwriting is communication. Mm-hmm. Like, my favorite part is making sure you understand or making sure you hear what I mean, as opposed to just hearing what I'm saying. Right. That's my favorite part. Yep. So we're going through the song, and everybody's throwing out all these ideas, and I'm sitting there, and I kind of, as I do, walk to my own little section of the room so I can hear myself.
With your own thoughts.
Right. Yeah. So I'm sitting there, and I'm like, yeah, but everybody's saying this, but it's not, because it's a breakup song. Right. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, yeah, but y'all keep saying that, but listen to the song, she's not mad. Like, why did they break up? Like, he cheated. Okay, but she's not mad. And then they're like, Q, come on, bro, we ain't even dealing with that. We're not talking about why. And Kenny goes, stop it. Go, J.Que, you're on to something. And I'm like, she's not mad. She lightweight knew he wasn't shit. She was disappointed. Mm-hmm. She's disappointed that she gave her time, that she gave him another chance. And because of that, she wouldn't say that. She would say this. And Kenny goes, exactly. Mm-hmm. That's what you do. Mm-hmm. And in that moment, him being everything to me,
of course,
validated me in a way that I didn't even know I needed. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. And in that moment, I was like, I understood what my first publisher, J.Que, when I did my first deal said. Because I told him the speed thing too. I told him when I did my deal, bro, I'm nervous. It was right after we wrote with Neo. I was like, bro, I can't do what they do. Yeah. And Shake said, I don't care if it takes you an hour, a day, a month, or a year. If you give me the song and it is a hit, all is forgiven. Right. Yeah. Don't matter. Do what you do. Yeah. You know what I mean? And in that moment, it was like that shit just made me feel, bro, validated. It made me feel valid. Like, and it's just wild to me that after a career of placing records and having singles and having hits and going to the Grammys and all of that, I was still that unsure.
Yeah. Well, it was that a comment during a session as opposed to the accolades or anything like that. That's what was like, oh my God, that fulfilled you, and be like,
because Kenny, to me, Kenny, and I'm sure Kenny has his own demons he fights with.
Everybody's sure of it.
Everybody does.
But Kenny understands the process of making a song. And for him to tell me in a moment where I'm in a room with a bunch of other professionals, but who aren't, to me, Kenny, for them to tell me what everybody always tells me, which is, bro, come on, you wasting time. We like 3 lines past that. Yeah. For Kenny to tell them to be quiet and to tell me to keep doing what I'm doing because I'm on to something, that shit did everything for me. That shit changed everything.
I can imagine.
Shit changed everything for me. Yeah.
It's crazy. These stories are so important because it's like, like we were talking about earlier, it's like, there's so many aspiring songwriters and producers and artists that have all these insecurities and anxiety and depression trying to move forward in this business. Yeah. And I think it's important, for them to hear these stories from people that are successful, because it makes everything relatable. Like, okay, I'm not the only one going through this, I think that even for me, we did one the other day, another podcast, and I was talking about, my own insecurities of being at a label and doing A&R and always having, because you're always battling, it's your ears. It's like, so when people are like, this is the shit you like, or this is, it's like, that really fucks with you. But then all of a sudden, you don't sign it or you're not able to sign it, and then it goes to another label and blows up. You're like, motherfucker. Damn it. Like all the artists that I brought into every label that I worked for have been successful at other labels. So that's the kind of shit that makes it, for me, it was just very like, fuck y'all.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But I mean, it's taken me a while to learn my power and my voice.
Yes.
And where I fit in, and but that was my journey, and everyone has their own journey. But
that's
I think
just wild to me to hear, because from the outside looking in, you were one of the most stable, self-assured people ever. Like, I'd call you looking for comfort. Look, bro, I'm just, you know what I mean? So that's just crazy, crazy to even hear.
But I think that's the part that, this, for us doing this podcast, it was like, I wanted to bring on, amazing people like you guys and talk about your process and your journey and what struggles, because I think that's so important for, like, even for the kids that come to vocalize you. It's like they understand that it's like every day that they're pursuing their careers, they're going to have ups and downs, but that even when you guys were having success, it's like everybody's winging it. Everyone's winging it. Everyone's winging it. I mean, it wasn't like you went there like, right, I'm gonna write this record because for us,
nobody's got it figured out.
But we have successes, but like you didn't go in there planning it. I mean, you want it to happen, but you don't know. There's songs that have been hit records that the people that wrote it and producers are like, we never saw that one coming. We just tried to get on the album. Right. We didn't know it was going to be the biggest song in the world. So it's like that stuff. Is very important, especially in the time now when we're coming out of this pandemic and people are now things are opening back up and people are like excited to get back to work.
Yes.
So,
well, also just again to hear that you guys have had successes and go through that, I think is equally as important to hear that, because people again go, God, if I could just get this done, I'm happy. Right. I had not a problem in the world. I think that's
it's crazy, and this is for the few young creatives that I mentor, and whenever I'm at Vocalize You, this is, if people don't hear anything, this is the one thing that I want them to hear. And I learned this during you think you want a hit. You think you want the success. You think you want people to know your name. You think you want the car. You think you want the plaques. That is not what you want. Oh God, I promise you that's not what you want. What you want is to be happy. And we just associate that success with happiness. But it doesn't work that way. Like, I feel like we're all born with a very specific size hole in our heart.
Yep.
And it is your job to do the work to figure out what that is.
Yep. What
fills that hole, because if you are a little anxious or a little depressed, when you get the hit or the success, you're going to become super anxious.
Magnified everything.
Yeah. Like, because you're going to find out that what you thought the answer was not it.
Which is frightening.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's about figuring out what that is. Like for me, I realized early that it wasn't the music. Like it wasn't the music. When happened, my world opened up. They're like, what do you want to do? I want to talk to Clive. I was in a meeting with Clive next week. Like everything changed, but my publisher was happy. My family was happy. Everybody was happy.
Yeah.
I literally was just like, oh, what's next?
Yeah.
And I just realized in that moment that what made me happy was my then girlfriend. Like just being there, just our friendship.
Yeah.
Like being around her. And for me, it was a paradigm shift. Like from that moment, I wasn't chasing the record anymore.
Right.
Like I didn't care. I wanted to work, And for me, I guess it's a little different because I never wanted to be a songwriter. This was not my dream.
Yeah.
Me either.
Right. We got in and I didn't suck at it. And they were willing to pay me money.
Get it where you
and
fit in.
I meet amazing people
Yeah.
and get to have these amazing experiences.
Yeah.
But respectfully, it's still a job. It's just a job that I like.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I mean? So for me, I didn't chase that anymore. I took my 10,000 hours and I put it into my relationship. Because when times are high, my wife loves me, bro. When times are low, she loves. I remember I was taking care of my whole fucking family, bro, and I went broke. Like I went broke and I came home shook, sat down in this new beautiful home with this beautiful child and these beautiful cars and told my wife we're broke. And she looked at me, she turned off the TV, looked at me and said, "Can you get us out of this?" And I said, "Yeah." And she said, "Cool." Kissed me on the forehead and said, "You want some ice cream?"
Keep it moving.
Got me some ice cream and we sat down and watched TV, and that shit
meant everything.
Bro.
Yeah.
Bro, it's like I think we all love the music. But like, bro, this shit is about life. Like, figure out what that piece is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Figure out what that is, because that's literally, it's so important. It's so important. People tell us all the time, "Yeah, you just feel that way because you've had success."
No,
nigga, I've had success because I feel this way. You know what I mean? So that, bro, I.
One day I'll find some love like that. Maybe one day I'll find someone who loves me like that. Somebody out there?
Oh.
DM me. Just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Not DM.
Slide into my DM. Just kidding. I'm joking, but
your DMs go up.
I love you. I love you.
Bro,
thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely, bro.
Both of you guys.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, man, you got me all.
No, I was feeling that. Then next thing you know, Billy's inviting people in the DM.
Hey, you know what?
I'm jealous of the love. I'm like, relationships are,
I'm slightly jealous that you get to have a bunch of people sliding in your DMs.
I don't.
Oh,
I
God.
don't. I'm not about to.
Candice, we had this conversation before the cameras came on. You know what my life goal is at this point.
Yes.
So that's what I'm saying. We all know what my life goal is at this point.
You gonna say it?
I mean, you don't have to.
Okay.
I mean, you can if you want. I want to be a naked hoe.
See? Naked, Nekki.
Yes, exactly.
Naked.
Yep.
So for me, like, it's wild. I talked to Viv about this, and I've talked to Candice about this too. No one has ever called me sexy or fine in my whole life before maybe last week, but I don't really count that because my wife and I had this conversation. So you saying it now don't count.
Yeah.
I understand that I'm a good man.
They just feel like you already know, or they don't want to be like creepy or weird or whatever.
That, but when you see somebody that is fine enough, the need to let them know that they're fine overrides it. You have told somebody that they are fine before.
No, I have not.
You are a liar, and the truth is not in you. I'm gonna call you by your middle name.
You better.
I know you have.
No, I haven't. Like, just walk up to somebody.
No, I just mean you could know them. You could be with them and just be like, "You are sexy.
You so fine."
Okay, I wouldn't use the word fine.
I've been married forever. Why ain't nobody told me that? Yeah, exactly.
Because you're married, first of all.
Why can't the person that I'm married to tell me that?
That's what we're talking about. Do you do that on the flip side?
Yes.
All the time.
So, but you're good about that, right?
Yes.
So, okay.
He has kids. It's safe to say something you're doing is working.
Oh, we're not talking about how I am in bed.
What?
I'm nice.
Dude, like,
I'm nice. I'm nice.
Okay,
but what?
How long have you been with your wife?
Forever.
Long enough for her to appreciate.
I'm not saying she doesn't appreciate it.
Okay,
I know
but
she
isn't it
loves
enough
me.
to know?
No.
You just feel like you want to hear it?
It is not enough to know.
Okay.
I need to hear it. And here's the whole thing. Thank you. Here's the whole thing. That never happened my whole life. But what I've realized is that I'm kind of turning into the sexy old man. Which is fine.
for you.
Which is fine. I'll take me to see your old man.
How's the old man? I don't get old man. You're not old.
But
I am. That's the whole thing.
When you had this conversation, did she say? Well, you need me to tell you this, or what is it that you're?
She's just like, man, get out of here.
Yeah.
That's literally, we balance each other well.
Yeah,
I am lovey and I am doughy, and she is whatever.
A straight shooter.
She is the straightest shooter. And she usually is shooting with a gun.
What's your love? Do you know your love language?
I don't.
Is it like words of affirmation, or is it like
no
physical touch? There's gifts. There's acts of service, and I forgot what the other one is. But I mean, everybody's important.
It's the fact that she stood by me. Like you know, my wife. She had options. Be clear. She had options, and it's not like we met after the success. We met, and I was pretty sure I was going to quit and go back to school, and she was like, "Yo, fuck them.
Yeah,
I got this.
Let's go.
Like, I'll pay for this. I'll hold. You keep working. I believe."
Yeah.
And that shit was the fact that maybe it's words of affirmation. Yeah. All I know is she stayed.
Yeah.
She could have left. There were NFL players like, "Hey, what's up?" And she was like, it's like that meme now where they show a terrible dude and it's like, "That's your man. You gonna stay with us? I'm gonna stick beside him."
Yeah.
I was out here trying to figure it out. She had it together, and she chose me when she didn't have to. Like, she didn't have to. So for me, that was everything. I feel like in life you have to find something to be honest to, something to stand beside, something to be loyal to. Viv is my something.
Yeah.
She is my something. I don't care what anybody says. Yes, like, we all get in studios and you have artists that say some crazy shit or try to do something to get you to work, or, let's do this. She'll never know. I'll know.
Yeah.
I've never met a woman worth giving up my life with this Vivian.
Way.
Yeah.
Long as I've known him.
I've never
That's
met
so
a woman.
awesome to hear.
Yeah.
That's so cool to hear.
So, she's an incredible woman.
That's an amazing thing to hear, though.
Yeah.
You heard her going off on me about the phone.
Oh, no, I love it. I love it. As soon as I heard that, I fucked with her. No, it's amazing, though. That's an amazing feeling.
I love you guys so much. Thank you guys for doing
this so much. For having us, man.
I appreciate your honesty and your openness, and I know this will help a lot of aspiring artists and talent that want to get into the industry. So
we gotta get your daughter there next year.
Oh, absolutely.
Also, we are gonna be doing a production thing too. So we'll get
your
cousin or whatever, right?
For sure, my niece. Yeah.
Come on.
Oh, she loved that.
I'm telling you.
Yeah. Before we finish. Favorite Prince song, go.
I'm torn. Ooh. I'm torn between "I Could Never Take the Place of Your Man," "Adore," and
equally torn.
I'm torn between a lot of them. I was gonna say Lil Corvette, but also 1999. I love that.
Oh, that's hard. Okay.
He's a great storyteller.
Oh yeah,
I like stories.
Okay, I'm gonna say. Sometimes it snows in April. Sometimes it feels so bad. From Under the Cherry Moon.
Yeah.
I love that.
I just want you to know you went for the deep cuts.
You went deep cuts.
Oh yeah, I love that song.
What's yours?
It's between Adore and Controversy.
Controversy.
Yeah.
Great song.
How about you?
There's so many.
Most Beautiful Girl in the World.
Oh yeah.
That's one of my favorites. Yeah, that's a great song.
That catalog.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah. We could probably keep going.
Yeah.
Different answers the whole way around. So
I struggled, but that was
My problem is Prince still plays in my car now, which is wild. I don't like. No Michael plays in my car.
I have listened the last couple of days in the gym. I jumped into Michael but it's only a certain time period. I mean, I listen to everything, but the ones that get me going to the gym are like Speed Demon and Liberian Girl, like
Liberian Girl
and Jam, yeah. It's they all kind of sound very similar, but like for some reason in the gym I'm just like
Liberian Girl.
Yeah, it gets me. Wow. Let's spin the pier, pens away.
Speed Demon and Jam. Okay.
Yeah.
Liberian Girl.
Yes, Liberian Girl.
That's the gym playlist for Billy right now.
I mean, on some days, only on leg day.
Only on leg day playlist. Okay, good.
Yeah, it's like when my friends come by and they clown me because my workout music changes all the time.
Me too.
Some days I'm trapped out. I got a couple of bricks in the car. Some days it's country music. Somebody came through one time and I was listening to Boyz II Men ballads. And they were like,
it's whatever I'm feeling.
How are we supposed to lift to this, bro, on bended knee? Shut up. Pick the weight up.
Dude, yesterday I was listening to Huey Lewis in the news.
Oh.
And I was jamming. If this is it.
Yeah.
If this is it.
I've been on a movie
rock and roll. Like,
Yeah. I know a lot of songs. It's lit.
Again, thank you guys so much.
Thank you guys.
Yes.
Really
thank you all so much. I really appreciate it.
I'll have other information underneath in the bio, so you guys can look up them and do
yourself a favor.
And and follow and love and all that good stuff. So thank you guys. Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. And if you want to see more episodes, click here. Somewhere here.